guys, so today before we get started on our new stuff, we are going to review the stuff we already know. So whenever we have a direct variation, meaning a proportional relationship, we know that we represent that with the equation y equals k times x, where k is our constant of proportionality or our unit rate. It is how when I put in x, what do I multiply it by to get out y? So this is for proportional relationships, which means that we would have a graph that is a straight line and passes through the origin. So if we know the x value, we plug it in, we get out the y value. So this is actually very similar to the new stuff that we're going to be talking about. So it is possible sometimes that we will have a linear graph, which means a straight line, but it's not going to pass right there through the origin. It's going to pass through the y-axis at a point that is not the 0, 0. So when we have a linear graph that is not proportional because it's not passing through the origin, we use the equation which we call slope-intercept form. So there is slope-intercept form, and the way that we represent this equation generically is our y equals mx plus b. So you should notice that we still have our y equals, we still have our x over here. Y and x still stand for y values and x values. But what's different here is that we have the letters m and the letters b. So if we look first at the letter that's right there next to the x, the coefficient, meaning that even though we don't see it, multiplication is happening between the m and x, this is what we call our slope. Now, even though we can't call it a constant of proportionality because we no longer have a proportional graph, the slope is really the same as k. It is how is x going to change to get that y value. But you'll notice here that we have this part that says plus b. Plus b is because of the fact that we don't have the graph passing through the origin anymore. This b represents what we call the y-intercept. Now when I say y-intercept, I quite literally mean where does the line intercept along the y-axis? So I set this up earlier on a piece of notebook paper. So if you are doing notes with me on a piece of notebook paper, I will show you how I did it, and then I will allow you guys to pause this so that way you can kind of catch up and do the next thing with me. So I'll go ahead and show you that paper, and then I'm going to actually draw it on my whiteboard here. So I just put it right here at the top, and I'm going to go ahead and draw that on here. So doesn't have to be super perfect, we're just doing the best we can right now. I've got my y-axis drawn. I've got my x-axis drawn now. I'm going to count by fives in all directions.